I am currently by the sea, and I feel like every single time I go to somewhere that's very scenic, very pretty, very beautiful, I get very reflective, and I think of just the journey that I've endeavored. And something that's come up in my mind recently is my ICT journey. I made like a conscious decision to study ICT about 9 months ago. He seems to be changing a lot of people's lives, and I respect that so much. I'm so down to kind of like put myself to learn more and then to also share it, and I'm always gonna remain teachable, so I always want to be a better person, a better trader. I've been studying it actively for about 7 months, so in this video, this is my 7th month ICT video update. It has honestly changed the way that I see the markets. It's honestly changed the way that I've viewed a mentor in terms of just being able to pour out content and to be able to just overflow with abundance of value, of knowledge of the market, right? It's not easy to do. So the main things I've actually learned from the top of my head were time and price, kills and timings, algorithmic price action, premium discount arrays such as fair value gaps, SIBI, BISI, learning that they were not actually liquidity pools, because I know that I actually went through a phase I would call them liquidity pools. Learning arrays such as order blocks, breaker blocks, learning the market maker sell model, market maker buy model. I learned this from the 2022 mentorship, learned about optimal trade entries, OTEs, and just the overall concepts of liquidity, internal, external, high resistance, low resistance. Now, I actually wanted to point out the things that I feel 50-50 about, because obviously when we are learning, we kind of take what we feel we resonate with the most, or maybe what we want to add on to our plans, what we want to backtest, what we want to use, right? And the things that I didn't really feel confident about and that I actually ended up not really using are things such as the data ranges, CBDR, and some arrays such as breakers, propulsion blocks, and a little bit of SMT, right? So these are things that I learned, I tried to apply, and it just wasn't really resonating with me. Now, those concepts doesn't mean that I'm going to fully disregard it, but it's just that it's taking me a little bit longer to actually implement it day to day and really see it. And throughout this video, I'll go into if I'm trading it live and kind of like what I look for when it comes to ICT. And I guess a question that I get a lot is, am I live trading ICT? And the answer is yes. I've pretty much been live trading it since I got back from the Philippines last year. So basically late July, August, I was pretty much live trading that. Basically the thought process as I was going into Q4 of 2022 was that I basically had 4 main setups on my plan that I was basically live trading. It all involved top-down analysis, and top-down analysis is something that I was actually very familiar with coming from my first community. From the daily, we can see that if we just jump on the 4 hour, that there's descending channels within the descending. On the 15-minute, I believe there was also. So looking into the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour with ICT, I've been dropping down to M15 and M5. I don't actually go any lower. I did try going to M1, M2, M3 for like refinements, and I just thought I'd keep it simple and I stick to 5-minute time frame. And so I mentioned that I had 4 setups. I then refined that to 3, and now pretty much 2 setups. So one is basically a high probability trade where most likely it's on the M15, and then I have a M5 confirmation entry, or if things aren't as clear, I'd like to get into a lower time frame play, or if you want to call it a scalp. So the framework is exactly the same. So looking on the daily, if something's not clear, I may look to the weekly, maybe the monthly, especially if it's the start of a new week or a new month. And then I'll look to the 4 hour, mark out where price may head to, look to the 1 hour, and then the M15, and I'll mark things out like the Asian range or previous day high, previous day low. Literally just the most simple form, because I just have to literally keep it as simple as possible. So where I'm at in my journey currently is that I'm not comfortable taking 1-minute scalps. I know that ICT does take 1-minute entries. Does that make me feel FOMO? Not really. It makes me curious, obviously, but in terms of me trading the way that I want to trade, I'm still an independent trader, right? I've tried the 1 minute and it did confuse me a little bit. And so for me, the M5 just worked well. It was a good transition from M15. I've traded M15 before when I was in my first community as a refinement. Now M5 is just kind of like that next little stepping stone from backtesting, from forward testing. It doesn't make me feel like it's a massive jump, right, compared to the M1, and M5 just works really well for me where I'm at right now. And that has pretty much been my framework, right? So basically daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, 5. 2 setups on my trading plan right now. I did take a break from trading for about 5 weeks, something like that, and I am back live trading. However, I am so careful when I say I'm trading ICT, because obviously I'm trading from my own experience, from my own knowledge, how I see the markets. So yeah, we'll see things similarly because we're learning from the same, mentor, but I'll add my own twist, my own spice, my own flavor to it, because I came from market structure, trends, and then to liquidity, algorithmic price. Some of you might have come from support resistance, scalping, and now are super comfortable taking 1 minute scalps. For you guys, it's so easy. So just bear that in mind when I do say I'm trading ICT style. I'm basically trading hannahforex, but I've been learning from ICT. And I guess this kind of leads on to the question, like, why do I always talk about ICT? How much has ICT paid me? First of all, I've never had like one-to-one conversation with ICT, so there is no agenda behind this. I think I talk about ICT a lot because it's just so accessible and you guys can access it on YouTube for free, which is freaking awesome. But at the same time, I know myself that I have to be an independent trader. So there'll be concepts like I don't really understand, or I'm not really going to use, or it's taking me a little bit longer to kind of figure out, like SMT, which is funny because in my first community, I would always look to the DXY for correlation. But who knows, maybe in a few months, I've nailed the SMT thing and maybe I've been adding it as a confluence, right? Now, I guess the biggest update in my entire trading journey, not just ICT, is that I have started to look into index futures, which is completely new. For the past 4 or 5 years, I've been trading only Forex pairs, currencies. This is a new thing for me, and I still am trying to figure out the best way to trade this. It's not as simple as going on my app or a calculator to figure out how much contracts to use or the quantity size. So this is something completely new to me. Why did I decide to look into index futures? First of all, why not? I don't think this is something that will actually affect me greatly in terms of trading psychology. But like, let's say you remove the title and you told me to apply my knowledge, looking for where draw and liquidity is, looking for where buy side liquidity is, sell side liquidity, fair value gaps, order blocks, breaker blocks, or maybe not breaker blocks because I'm still learning that, but you know what I mean? I feel like I could do that. But the more beautiful thing is that right now it's actually cleaner than euro dollar. And I'm very careful to say that because I feel like I say one thing, some people, quite a few people end up doing that. So definitely go test that. And that's what I've been doing. I've just been testing it for the past few weeks. This is something quite new, but at the same time, no pressure. Like it's just another asset class. It's just another thing, right? Something I also wanted to point out is that I did do my due diligence. Am I saying that right? To study it. Another cheeky sip of coffee. And if you guys are liking this video so far, please give it a cheeky like. It helps the channel out a lot. And something that I just was, praying over and thinking about was just the journey of learning. I don't know why I look very yellow right now. I was reading a book, and in the book, speaks about wisdom, speaks about knowledge, and speaks about decision making. And it said, we are long on knowledge and short on wisdom. Can you guys kind of see why I really like this quote or this sentence from this book? It's just because it's using the long and short, so I was like, oh, trading terms. But anyways, and isn't that like so interesting? Like we can consume so much knowledge but still be so unwise and still be so naive and ignorant, right? But I wrote down, life, learning, our work seldom progress in direct upward lines, but rather in steps and plateaus. So our ambitions are seldom fulfilled without setbacks, but setbacks are the springboard for achievement. Just with this ICT journey, there's been moments, there's been nights of frustration where I just could not understand. That was me when I was trying to learn, like, let's say SMT, or trying to really backtest and train my brain and my eyes to see propulsion blocks for hours until literally my eyes would just sting. And those are times where I feel like I'm not making progress. But well, in fact, I am, because it's just part of the journey. I think that I've really gone back to my roots the past 2 months during that break when it was Christmas and just holidays, when I was really just staying focused on backtesting and like really refining my plan on what it is that I want to focus on, and my rules for my trading plan going into when I was going to start live trading, especially with the big funds, was the art of staying neutral. I think the art of staying neutral was that something that I just adopted from way back, and I'm really bringing that back in, and I think that's what's helped me to really filter out, do I want to take a long or a short? And I love how it's basically gone full circle. The technicalities are different, but the mindset and the psychology is exactly the same. Remember, I've said this before in my previous videos, back from 2019, 2020. I'm getting shivers right now because I've literally gone full circle. Not in terms of technicals, I'm not trading patterns right now. I can see patterns, I can understand it, and I have a lot of gratitude towards it. But the trading psychology of the art of staying neutral, understanding what is possible, what is probable, the different scenarios, and that just makes a lot of sense, especially when you're trading higher time frame. So I feel like I've gone on a big tangent here, but the 7 months have been very, very crazy. I love being able to just document the journey with you guys, and I think taking time out to just reflect on the journey, back to taking notes, watching content, being part of like an online community, but also leading my own online community. It's honestly really special when you actually sit down, believe in yourself, commit to something, no matter what the world tells you, no matter what society tells you, no matter what comments are saying on social media, that you just go back yourself, you trust in the process of learning, of life, of having knowledge and wisdom at the same time, right? So I think this is just encouragement for you guys to just keep going, just keep pouring in, don't listen to the noise. And I'm excited to be joining you guys on February 7th on Tuesday with the ICT live streams. We're all going to be learning together. I think this is really cool. And it's being able to just continuously touch base, continuously remember 1% better every day. So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless. I made a conscious decision.